I love the fact that you're, I mean, if this is true, what I read, that your record company are actually quite worried about the extended album. That did they say to you, can you not start writing a bit of heartbreak again? Because you've gone quite political here.
Oh, yeah, so with this album is actually an extension in time for Christmas of The Architect. So with The Architect, when it came out, I was like, oh, I'd like to, because I was about to become a parent, I was like, I need to talk about the world that I'm bringing this child into. They're inevitably going to listen to it. And they were like, there's nothing personal on it. But it was all personal, but it's just about my perspective outside of myself, of, like, the world that I'm bringing this person into. But then for the Zeitgeist edition, which is out now, which is this one, so the face is all back together because The Architect was smashed. It's about my personal experience. So I've basically gone back to writing, you know, from an emotional perspective. So I deal with all the issues. I write better in hindsight than in the moment. Right. So now my child's approaching 2, I'm a bit better at reflecting on what happened. So Loyal, the song that's out now from it, is about the impact on a relationship, having a child, and then there's one for the baby, and there's one for my mother, because that relationship shifted as well.
Yeah, you realise how amazing they are, don't you?
Yeah, but also, like, well, you'll hear it when you listen to the record, but it says, like, I'm older now and you've got to let me do my own thing, kind of thing. So, I don't know, like, I tried to... And then there's, like, a funny one about me being obsessed, which was true, when I was breastfeeding in a dark room, by my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, stalking on Instagram.
Oh, it's a dangerous place to be.
And yeah, I got fanatical. No, it got to the point where at first it was like, it's called Your Ex, this song. Right. And it's all about the imaginary world that she's so amazing and why did you leave her? So it's like kind of, it's quite feminist because it's not like, ooh, like a lot of women are. It's like, oh, God, she's beautiful and intelligent. And so I got...
Is this where your head was going? As
and then I was like, oh, no,
the hormones will do that to you. They really... And then all of a sudden you've scrolled back and you know where she was in 2010, who she was on holiday with.
Do you know what? I think it went from obsession to actual love. Like, I think I loved her.
Oh, you were in a mess.
You were. I feel you, girl. I feel you.
How is it? Because you've said that being a mum, you know, at first was tough.
Yeah.
Tough to adjust to.
I think it was much more difficult than I anticipated because I wasn't really... I hadn't heard the truth, and I think not enough people speak about it. And everyone's experience is different. Like, I've met mums that sailed through it and it was fine, but I didn't. Like, I was really shell-shocked by the change and very much, like, found it difficult, like, the pull between wanting to be the greatest mother ever but also trying to sustain an inherently sort of selfish career in a way. Like, you have to be quite egotistical to some level, but also self-deprecating and all those things to be an artist and musician. And it was quite hard to find a balance between those two things. And that's what I'm addressing in the Zeitgeist edition. And I think, you know, as I always do, I write ambiguously, so it's not as literal, like the songs are open to interpretation. I've had a lot of teenagers writing about the song for my mum, for example, to me, saying, that's how I feel because I'm leaving home to go to university and I just want my mum to stop ringing and giving me food parcels and stuff. I do know how to go to the supermarket, kind of thing. And so it's, like, open to all. But I think at every point in your life, when things change, you always go back to being, like, back to your mum, like, I can do this, I can handle it.
And what did your mum think about it? She heard the track?
I don't know if she's even listened to it yet. I think she's so over being obsessed by me and more about the grandchild.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, I'm a bit worried about whether she's even heard it. I'm kind of concerned. I'm waiting for the wrath of, like...
Yes, when the...
Oh, I didn't like that.
When you said... get the text.
What you insinuating.
Absolutely that. That's it. You get replaced. You have children, they get grandkids, and that is it.
Yeah,
it's all about them.
Well, it's interesting also because it's always pays to have a plan B, and you are a very good actress, so that's quite good. And you're using your voice this time. I quite like the idea of this new Disney series, so 101 Dalmation Street. So you've put your voice to a Dalmatian.
Yeah, so I've played a little dog. Look, there she is, Portia. She's quite snotty, and that was fun. And then I'm also currently filming a series called Pennyworth, which is a prequel to Gotham, where I play a character for... That's the whole series, so it's like 10 episodes. I'm completely immersed in being another person called Bet Sykes, who's not that nice, but I'm kind of, like, in my weird, sadistic way, learning to love her too. As I was telling you about the ex, I kind of love this horrible person that I'm having to be as well. I'm finding...
Just compassion.
I'm finding nuances in her horrific personality.
When do we see that? When is that out?
Well, I'm not even sure yet because we're currently filming, so I know that it's going to be out in America first, and then I'm hoping that it will do really well and come over here. So that I'm really enjoying. That feels like a holiday. It's quite weird because when you're a parent, as you know, you have to be nice all the time.
I know.
So it's so nice going to work and just being absolutely horrible.